Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of The Weird Circle. Now, this program originally aired April 1st, 1945. A weird silversmith and the Goblet.
The Weird Circle. In this cave by the restless sea, we are met to call from out the past stories strange and weird. Bellkeeper, toll the bell, so all may know we are gathered again in the Weird Circle. Phantoms of a world gone by speak again their immortal tale. The Goblet.
This is an occasion. It calls for wine. Sweet wine to think back, to reflect, to decide. Wine to make a fateful decision. Ah, well. A toast, my silver nemesis. Come, a toast to Francesca who has left me. Yes, to Francesca. Why not? Well, little Goblet, we're alone, huh? Now we can talk, just you and I, huh? They would think me mad if they came upon me now. Came upon me, His Excellency Donaldo Rinaldi, governor of this island, talking to a silver goblet. But they do not know that you are really alive. That you have a black heart and a blacker soul. No, they do not know, but I know. Now I must make a decision, my beautiful, glittering friend. Whether to keep you forever or destroy you forever. Whether to go on until death with you or without you. Strange how a sweet wine tastes bitter when taken from your cold embrace, little Goblet. I look deep into your silvery mirror, and you reflect the things in my mind, little Goblet, so that I may see them with my eyes. Recall to me a day long ago.
Ronaldo, why are you looking at me like that?
Don't you know, Francesca?
I
love you, Francesca.
Ronaldo.
Yes, I love you. I ask you to be my wife.
But I am of humble birth, the daughter of the village doctor. And you are His Excellency, the governor.
You are a woman and I am a man. And that is all that is important. Will you, Francesca? Will you marry me?
Yes, Donaldo. If you want me, I will be your wife.
Oh, little Goblet. I shall never forget that glorious day. The day before you were created. I was delirious with happiness. I bought Francesca every gift money could buy, fine gowns, a new coach, spirited horses. And I found that Francesca had a passion for things wrought in silver. I found a young silversmith who lived on the island and whose name was Ferdinand, a crafty fellow. He made Francesca a bracelet. It was a rare piece of work, a work of art. And in its graceful lines and smooth luster, there was something else, an indefinable, strange something. When I slipped the bracelet over Francesca's wrist, she was breathless, enchanted.
Oh, it's beautiful, Donaldo. Exquisite.
I'm glad you're pleased, Francesca. Shall I bring you other things from the same craftsman? A necklace? Earrings?
I did not know that there was a silversmith like this in all of Italy.
There may not be, for all I know. I had this made right here on the island.
Here? On the island? Donaldo, who is this silversmith?
Well, a man named Ferdinand. I found him quite by accident.
Ferdinand? Ferdinand.
You speak as though the name intrigues you, Francesca. Do you know him?
No, I've never met him. Face to face. But it's almost as though...
As though what, Francesca?
I don't know. What I do know is that his work was made just for me. Look at this bracelet, Donaldo. See how it curves over my wrist. Somehow it feels warm there instead of cold. Almost as though it were live flesh instead of metal.
Oh, come now, Francesca. You're imagining things.
No, Donaldo, I'm right. This silver has a strange, lifelike quality. When I put my cheek against it, it feels like a warm, living caress. See? Hold your hand to it.
It feels like silver to me, my dear. Like cold metal. But if it makes you happy to believe it alive, you shall have your whimsy. More wine, little goblet. Wine to think, to reflect, to recall. More wine to redden your silvery insides and to warm mine. It grows more bitter still, this vintage. All that you are is bitterness, and all that touches you grows bitter. But come now, listen to me. Where was I? Oh, yes, the bracelet. Francesca could not take her eyes off it. She wore it constantly, caressed it, touched it tenderly, insisted it had a heart and a soul. I was happy. I laughed then. Ah, if I'd only known. Then came another day. It was a day I thought of happy omen. And did I not have a right to think that?
Donaldo, you know, there is something I cannot understand.
What is it, my dear?
How can this wonderful silversmith of yours, this Ferdinand, capture so much of me in his silver without ever having seen me?
He'll see you today, Francesca.
Donaldo, what do you mean?
He's working on your wedding ring, and today it's ready to be fitted.
Oh, so I shall see Ferdinand today.
Yes. Is meeting this silversmith so important to you, my dear? I thought it would be the wedding ring that would intrigue you.
Oh, yes, Donaldo, of course it is. Forgive me, it's just that I'm glad you commissioned Ferdinand to make it. I love his work so much.
Does it matter so much who makes it, as long as it binds us together?
Of course not. It's just that I thought you might have sent for an elaborate ring in Italy.
There isn't enough time. The wedding is too near. Well, my dear, when shall we go down for the fitting?
Now, Donaldo. Let us go now.
Even then, I must have had some faint premonition of what was to come. But at the time, Francesca's eagerness seemed natural enough. I called for a coach and we rode down to Ferdinand's shop. A place you'll know well, huh? Little Goblet. Francesca, my dear, this is Ferdinand.
Signorina, I am honored.
No, it is I who am honored to meet so great an artist.
You are very kind, Signorina.
You have great talent, rare talent. The things you have made for me, why, they seem to breathe life.
I felt the same life in my fingers when I molded the silver and shaped it. I made it just for you, Signorina.
All this is very well, but it's taking time. What of the ring, Ferdinand? Is it ready?
Yes, Signor. Here it is.
Oh, it is lovely. Lovely. Like all the other things you make.
Come, my dear. Let me try it on your finger. It's a loose fit, Ferdinand.
Yes, I regret it is, Signor, and my apologies. This is the first time I have made an error in my knowledge of the lady. Up to now, I have always seemed to know her.
Yes, I have told His Excellency of this strange feeling of affinity many times.
Well, Ferdinand, what are we going to do about the ring?
I shall have to rework it again, Excellency.
But that will take time, man. The wedding's only 3 days away.
Have no fear, Excellency. It will be ready for another fitting tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I have affairs of state to attend to tomorrow. It will be impossible for me to come down. Why not just measure her finger now and be done with it?
No, Excellency, there must be another fitting. I want this ring to be perfect.
Of course, Donaldo. You can attend to your work tomorrow. I'll come down alone in the carriage. It'll only take a few minutes.
Oh, very well. But see that the ring fits tomorrow, Ferdinand, or you'll answer to me. How was I to know, little Goblet, hmm? How was I to know that this little silversmith had captured my beloved not only with his work, but with himself? Like a fool, I let her go down to his shop alone. It was only later, when it was too late, that I found out what had happened.
The ring is ready, Signorina. Allow me to put it on your finger.
Oh, thank you, Ferdinand. It seems to fit perfectly.
A symbol of happiness. Or is it, Signorina?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I'm not sure I do. Ronaldo's a good man. He's rich, handsome, considerate, and kind.
I did not mention Donaldo's name, Signorina.
No, but you had it on your mind. There isn't a woman on this island who does not envy me.
A woman cannot live on envy, Signorina. She must love and be loved.
But Donaldo loves me. That is apparent.
Yes, but do you love him?
Why,
The truth, Signorina. No, never mind. I know the truth. I can see it in your eyes. Now can you see what is in mine?
Ferdinand, what?
I made things of silver only for you. They called to you, did they not, Francesca? They drew you to me. I made them live. I molded them with my heart and soul. When I polished them, I saw your face in the reflection. They were meant for you because I was meant for you.
Ferdinand, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I love you. And you love me.
Ferdinand,
You came to me alone. You can never leave me. We are one together, bound by a cord of silver round our hearts. You love me, Francesca. Say it. Say it.
Yes. Yes. I love you, Ferdinand.
Francesca, my darling. Didn't you know? Did you just discover it?
No. No, I knew. I must have known.
You did know. I sent you the message of my love and the silver I made, and you responded.
But it's too late, Ferdinand. I promised Donaldo that...
No, it is not too late. You cannot ruin the rest of your life to keep a promise. Come away with me, Francesca. There's a little inn I know by the sea. We'll find a priest there and be married.
When Francesca did not return, I hurried down to the shop. Are you thirsty, little Goblet? More wine? At the shop, a coachman told me he had seen Francesca leave with the silversmith Ferdinand and had overheard their destination. I hurried after them, my brain fevered with a kind of madness and with murder in my heart. I entered the inn and softly opened the door to their room a few inches. They did not hear me.
Francesca, my beloved, I have a gift for you.
Why, it's a goblet. A silver goblet. Oh, Ferdinand, it's beautiful. Like everything else you make. Alive.
Yes. When I made it, I hated it. It was to be my wedding gift to you and to him. But now it is ours, ours. And remember, as long as you have it, I shall have you. It will be a symbol of our love. Come, Francesca. While we're waiting for the priest, let us drink a toast to our future happiness.
No, Francesca.
Donaldo!
Put on your cape, Francesca. I'm taking you home.
Don't go with him, Francesca. He cannot hold you now. You're free of him. Don't go.
As for you, my little silversmith, I'm going to banish you from this island forever.
From April 1st, 1945, The Weird Circle on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
And you're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Well, the silversmith has been banished from the island. Let's see where this story goes from here. April 1st, 1945, The Weird Circle.
You know I'm a good man, my evil little Goblet. I thought what I was doing was best for Francesca. I believed she'd get over this foolish infatuation and marry me. You see, I loved her. And after all, I could give her everything she wanted. I kept her in my villa under my housekeeper Rosa's chaperonage, hoping that she would relent and marry me. I suppose Francesca was, in a sense, a prisoner. I don't know. All I know is that I wanted her more than anything else in the world. And I tried everything. Francesca! Francesca! Oh, my dear, you need a wrap. You'll catch cold out here on the balcony.
Leave me alone, Donaldo.
Oh, I see you already have company. That goblet. Holding it up to the sun again. Watching it reflect the light, talking to it, fondling it.
Please, Donaldo. I don't want to discuss it.
Perhaps you don't, but I do. When are you going to come to your senses, my dear? People think you're mad. Each day at sunset, standing on this balcony, holding that accursed silver goblet to the sun till it dazzles the eyes.
I did not ask to come here. You've kept me here for 2 years.
Francesca, listen to me. I've got a surprise for you. Rosa.
Oh, yes, Signorina. 5 new gowns, all the way from Paris. They are exquisite, the latest mode. The dressmaker is waiting for you now.
Well, Francesca, doesn't that interest you? Don't you care?
When will you learn, Donaldo? Your gifts don't interest me. I don't care for your gowns and your jewels.
There's only one thing you care about, eh, Francesca? That's silversmith Ferdinand.
Please go away. Please leave me alone.
Francesca, for the love of heaven, will you put that goblet down? Stop holding it in the sun. The reflection's blinding me.
It does not blind me, Donaldo.
That goblet, always that goblet. Must I compete against a piece of silver? Must it always be between us? Give me that goblet, Francesca.
No. No, Donaldo. It is all I have to remind me of...
Of Ferdinand? Precisely. Give me that goblet.
You'll not take it away. You'll not. If you do, I shall die.
On the contrary, my dear, you'll come to your senses again. Now for the last time.
No. No.
Very well, then I shall have to take it by force.
Donaldo.
Give me that goblet.
No.
I must be free of it. And so must you. You recall all this, my little silver friend? Do I see you grinning at me from your perch there on the table? Well, then I shall drown your grin with more wine. More wine to think. To think. For the time has come, little Goblet, when you and I must come to terms, one way or the other. Yes. Wine still tastes bitter. No matter. I must live with bitterness forever in any event. But recall again what happened. I took you away from Francesca and strode down to the rocks and threw you into the Mediterranean as far as I could throw. I saw the water carry you out. And then with my own eyes saw you sink. Yes, sink. And then, a week later... Someone's at the door, Rosa. See who it is.
Yes, Excellency.
Good afternoon, Senora. My name is Mario. I am a fisher boy at the village.
What do you want?
Pardon, Senora, but I must see His Excellency the Governor.
Go away, boy. His Excellency cannot be disturbed by ragamuffins.
But, Senora, I have found something very precious. It is so precious that it could only belong to His Excellency. See?
Why, it is the Signorina's goblet.
The goblet? Boy, you found the goblet?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Come here, boy. Come into the room. Now, tell me where you found this goblet.
On the beach near the Narrows, Excellency. I was fishing there when I spied it coming in on the tide. I picked it up and came straight here.
Oh, is this accursed goblet? Always it must come between us. Why? Why?
Excellency,
Go away now, boy. Go away, do you hear?
Yes, Signora. Yes.
Oh, Excellency, is something wrong?
Yes, Rosa. This goblet is wrong. It's a silver incarnation of evil that must be destroyed.
Excellency, why did you throw the goblet like that? You broke the lamp.
I must destroy this evil thing. Smash it against the wall.
Oh, Excellency!
Oh, Rosa. Rosa, pick up the goblet from the floor. Give it to me.
Yes, Excellency. Here it is.
No. It cannot be. I smashed the goblet against the wall. You saw me, Rosa. And yet, look.
It is a miracle, Excellency. A miracle.
Yes. A devil's miracle. There's not a nick in it. Not a scratch. And its surface shines brighter than ever. What could I do, little goblet? What could I do against a power like yours? I thought then of Francesca.
This goblet has a lot of power to it. April 1st, 1945, The Goblet, an episode of The Weird Circle. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's me. The conclusion of The Weird Circle follows these important words from your favorite station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
You clean everything else in your house. Why don't you clean the air? It's easy to do with an Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. They're under $200 for a 3-pack. You can put one in the kitchen. You can put one in the living room. You can put one in that room that you always flush. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Put in my promo code CLASSIC3 and you'll save $200. EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code CLASSIC3 and you'll also get free shipping. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Weird Circle, The Goblet, April 1st, 1945.
Believe me, I meant no harm. I'm a good man, really. A good governor, a humane man. And I loved Francesca. I brought the goblet into her. When she saw it, a strange light came into her eye.
The goblet. Donaldo, you've brought the goblet back.
Yes, my dear.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Donaldo.
Francesca, please, you're not yourself. Perhaps we'd better place it in the vault until...
No. I must have it now. Now.
Very well, my dear. Francesca, where are you going?
Out on the balcony, Donaldo. I want to look at it again. The rays of the sun. There is a light. A light I must see.
Again she held you up, the cursed goblet. Again came that blinding flash of light when you met the sun. I staggered from the room, my eyes smarting from the glare. Threw myself on my bed, tried to sleep, but I could not sleep. My eyes were wide open, my evil destiny. I saw only you, jeering at me, taunting me, as you are doing now. It was only this morning that Angelo Lanzi, my police chief, came to see me.
Excellency, I have a report of interest.
Well, Lanzi, well?
That silversmith you banished from the island, he has come back.
Back?
Yes.
Ferdinand?
I believe that was his name. A little man mumbling to himself, always mumbling one word.
Goblet.
Yes, Excellency, goblet. How did you know?
Never mind. Lancy, where did you see this silversmith?
Why, it's very strange, Excellency. He stood on the hill overlooking the customs house and stared at your villa.
Yes, Lancy, yes?
There was something bright flashing from an upper story, the gleam of metal in the sun, perhaps. The silversmith watched it as though it were some kind of signal. He never took his eyes from it.
Excellency! Something has happened.
Yes, Rosa?
Giulio the guard, he has been attacked.
It's Ferdinand. He's come for Francesca. The trellis to our balcony. Come with me, Rosa. We must stop them.
Yes, Excellency.
Francesca! It's I, Donaldo. Open the door, do you hear? Francesca!
There is no answer, Excellency. I am afraid.
Francesca! In the name of heaven, speak! Rosa, step to one side. I'm going to break down the door.
Yes, Excellency. Oh, she has gone, Excellency. See, the French windows to the balcony are open. But she has left the silver goblet on the table.
Yes, Rosa. She's left the goblet.
Excellency, the goblet. It is afire from the rays of the sun. Mamma, look. It is a blinding light. A sign from heaven, surely. An evil sign.
Yes, Rosa. Shut the windows and draw the blinds.
Yes, Excellency.
Now leave me, Rosa. Go about your duties.
But, Excellency...
Leave me alone with the goblet. You hear?
Yes, Excellency, if this is your wish.
Rosa has gone away as I ordered her to and left me alone. Francesca is gone. My beloved is gone. But oh, how considerate of her. She left me you. You! But are you not a part of her? Did she not say herself that everything that silversmith made for her became a part of her? Lived as she did, had a soul and life? Yes, Goblet, you. She left me more than she could ever give me when she herself was here. She left me you.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought you the immortal tale, The Goblet. Bellkeeper, toll the bell.
April 1st, 1945, The Weird Circle on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
The Overstock sale continues at MyPillow.com. Deep discounts on Giza Dream Sheets, MyPillow original pillows, the My Slippers, half price. I love mine. And with every order you make by going to MyPillow.com/radio specials, you'll get a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. MyPillow.com/radio specials, promo code USA. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, something a little lighter, an episode of Claudia. This soap opera, originally broadcast and sponsored, by the way, by Coca-Cola, on April 1st, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the play and novels by Rose Franken.
Brought to you, transcribed Monday through Friday, by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Dum 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 dum.
Claudia.
Dum dum. Yes, Mama. What is it?
How do you expect me to measure this skirt with you jiggling all over the living room?
Oh, sorry.
And please hand me a few more pins from the top of the table.
With pleasure. Pins, pins, pins. Nice shiny pins for the lady in the green hat. How is that?
That's fine. Now, if I can just get the back of your hem even with the front.
Mama.
Now what?
I don't see why you have to put the pins in your mouth.
Because that's the only way to do this in a hurry.
If you got here when you said you were going to, you wouldn't be in such a hurry now. Where were you all day? You were supposed to be here at 3 o'clock and you didn't get here till 5.
And I?
Mama, you don't think you can keep a secret from me, do you?
Certainly I can. All I have to do is put the pins back in my mouth and my lips will be permanently sealed.
Ha. You went shopping for a present for me.
Present for you?
Yep.
I must say I have better ways of spending my time. But even if you come up with the right answer, I'm not supposed to tell you.
There is something then, a surprise, a surprise.
I'm surprised you're so suspicious. Can't I be a few hours late without being subjected to a cross-examination like any old bank robber?
I'm going to figure this out very systematically. Now, let's see. It's the 1st of the month. What always happens on the 1st of the month?
If you'll only stand still for 2 minutes, I can have this hem
Beginning
pinned.
of a new month. Who do you see once a month? Mama, it's Aunt Louisa.
What about Aunt Louisa? Where did she come from?
Why, she came right in from Long Island on the 1st of April to have lunch with you.
Stand still now.
Of course. And she shopped in town to get me a present for when the baby's born.
Well, if it isn't Detective Lieutenant Norton, then when did you join the force?
I've been a member of the force, man and boy, for these 30 years. Oh, no. Aunt Louisa isn't going to give that poor baby one of those soup tureens.
You ungrateful child. Isn't it too bad that silver stores won't take things back when they put your monogram on them?
Oh, no, they haven't put our monogram on. Mama, we won't even have room for a tureen in the house at Eastbrook. We haven't got a closet big enough.
Can't you put it outside the door with potted plants?
Potted plant? Mommy, you're fooling. Oh, dear. Aunt Louisa's so generous, and it is sweet of her to give us a present at all, and they're so expensive.
Perhaps she hasn't definitely given the order.
Maybe if I call her and just sort of hinted that we never eat soup, she wouldn't have the monograms put on. Mama, do I dare?
Her phone number is Rockland Center 867. And if you let on I said anything to you, I'll deny categorically that I ever had a daughter and that her name was Claudia.
I'll be very careful. I won't even say you're here. Hello, operator. Please give me Rockland Center 867. This is Plaza 55597. You watch and see how carefully I do this.
You're wasting your time just being a prospective mother. You should be at least our ambassador to Moscow.
Oh, it's too cold in Moscow. Hello? Hello, Aunt Louisa. This is Claudia. Oh, I'm fine. And how are you? And your asthma? It's a lot better. I'm so glad. For dinner? You'd like us to come for dinner next Wednesday?
Claudia, I was only fooling. It's April Fool.
April Fool? Oh, no, I wasn't talking to you, Aunt Louisa. It's awfully sweet of you to ask us for dinner, and we'll be there on Wednesday. I'm so glad your asthma's better. Goodbye. Mama, you ungrateful mother, playing a joke like that on your own daughter.
In the first place, I didn't play it on you. You insisted on playing it on yourself. And the second place, you'll have a lovely dinner.
I'd just forgotten completely that it was April Fool's Day. I wonder if David remembers.
I want nothing to do with whatever comes out of that look on your face.
I bet he's forgotten all about it, too.
I wish I hadn't reminded you.
Yes, you had a wonderful time filling my house with imaginary soup tureens. And now you just don't want me to have fun, too.
No, I don't think David would care very much about soup tureens.
What does he care most about? I know. Our house in the country.
Claudia, I don't think you'll be able to fool David for a minute.
Oh, won't I? I can keep the straightest face you ever saw.
You may be able to keep a straight face, but I never heard of you keeping a secret.
Well, I'll keep this one all right. Just long enough. I'll tell David that Mr. Paradiso called
and we won't be able to move into the house on April 15th.
When do the new tenants move into this apartment?
April 15th, that's the whole point. We won't have anywhere to go, and I'll get David to start calling up all the hotels to get a reservation.
That sounds more like an April Fool's joke on the hotels than it does on David.
I love to stay in a hotel. I love to.
In a minute, you'll forget this is a joke.
Can't you just picture how excited he's going to be when he hears?
I can picture it exactly. He'll say, April Fool. And he won't believe you for a minute.
His nostrils will wiggle, and he'll put down his pipe, and he'll say all kinds of things about Paradiso. And you and I are going to open our mouths until he's made a dozen telephone calls.
Just one thing, Claudia. I'm not a party to this. I don't know a thing about it.
Of course not, neither do I. That's the whole point. There's David now. Quick, start fixing my dress. Hello, David. I wish I could whistle back, but Mama has pins in her mouth. David, listen, I've got something to tell you before...
Darling, before you tell me anything, I've got something important to tell you.
You have?
Yes. Maybe you'd better sit down. And, Mama, take the pins out of your mouth.
Me sit down?
Maybe you'd better. Because I'm afraid this is going to be a terrible disappointment to you.
Whatever it is, it sounds terrible. Mommy, you better take the pins out of your mouth.
Now, how can I tell you? Let me see. Darling.
Yes?
Darling, would you mind having to live in a hotel for a while?
In a hotel?
No. Don't say they're expensive, because there are times when you just can't help the expense.
David, what are you trying to say?
My dear woman, I had a phone call today.
Is that unusual?
From Eastbrook.
That's not unusual.
From Paradiso.
Paradiso?
And this was the message. The house will not be ready for us to move into on the 15th of April.
The house won't be ready by the... David, did you say that Paradiso said the house wouldn't be ready?
Yes. That, my darling, is exactly what I said.
That's what I thought you said. Mama, is that what you thought he said?
That's what I thought he said.
I was right. You are a sport, darling. I knew. I just knew that you would take it standing up.
I'm practically not standing up.
Darling, it's not so tragic. We'll have a nice vacation in a hotel.
But I don't want a hotel. I want to move into our house. Mama, I had a feeling. Just before David came, when you and I...
I'm putting the pins back in my mouth.
You don't have to now. David, when did he call?
No, when did he call? Now, let me see.
And just exactly what did he say?
What did he say? Now let me see.
Just how soon after the 15th can we move in?
Well, he didn't exactly say.
He didn't say... Oh,
No.
that's a terrible sign. It probably won't be for weeks.
Oh, maybe just a day or two.
He ought to pay, David. Paradiso ought to pay for while we're in a hotel.
Paradiso? Now, come, darling. It's not the Paradiso.
Well, if he doesn't pay, somebody else should have to pay. Why do we always have to be the ones who pay and pay and pay?
Because you're a woman.
I've half a mind to call that Paradiso and give him a piece of my...
The other half of your mind.
David, I don't understand you at all. You don't seem to care at all.
Well, darling, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Oh, you will, if you have no place to sleep. Remember what happened the last time we tried to get a room in a hotel?
I remember. That reminds me. You had better start calling right away and make reservations or else...
I'm not moving out of my apartment again, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're right, David. We'll start calling right now.
Where's the phone book?
In the bedroom.
I'll get it. Don't move, darling. I'll get it.
Mama, isn't it terrible?
That's what you get for trying to play jokes on people.
Oh, that's different. With me, it was a joke. With David, it's serious.
Oh, it's not that serious, Claudia. You spend a day or two in a hotel, you'll love it.
I love it when it's by choice, not by necessity.
Well, darling, I admire your spirit.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking I didn't have any.
I behaved much worse about it than you did when I heard about it.
Darling, now come to think of it, I'm not really as upset as I seem. It'll give us more time to move. I can get the furniture arranged before we move in. And we won't have to move out of one place and into another all the same day. You know, I'm starting to think it's much better this way.
You know, I think so, too.
You do?
Absolutely. I'm really very pleased the way things turned out. And I'm going to call the Slater this minute and get ourselves a reservation.
This minute?
We can't waste any time.
Well, tomorrow will do.
Never put off till tomorrow. What you can do today, I always say.
You always say.
Always, didn't you know?
Now, what's that number? Let's see. Here we are. Murray.
Are you sure it's the Slater you want to call?
Yes.
I'll answer it.
Oh, I'm right here. I've got it. Hello? This is Mrs. Norton. Mr. Paradiso? It's Mr. Paradiso.
Speaking of the devil.
Let me talk to him, Claudia.
Yes, Mr. Paradiso. The house will... You mean you've got some more news since you called my husband this morning?
I think I'd better talk to him, dear.
What? You didn't call this morning? Are you sure this is the first time you're calling today?
You should have let me talk to him.
Claudia, I suspect that...
Yes, Mr. Paradiso.
Claudia, It was all a joke, Claudia.
Yes, Mr. Paradiso. Not until the 17th or 18th. And you'll let us know.
It was just a joke, Claudia.
It was a wonderful joke, David. What did you say was the number of the Slater Hotel?
Young lady, if you think you can pull my leg, your joke has gone too far.
Mama, you're right. It's gone much too far. That was Mr. Paradiso on the phone. And his message was that the furnace will be delayed until the 14th, and we won't be able to move up to the farm until at least 3 or 4 days after that.
What did you say, Claudia? 3 or 4 days?
That's
Claudia,
what I said.
Are you joking?
Do I sound like I was joking? You and your April Fool. Fine kind of a joke to play on a person unsuspecting. No, operator. I didn't say April Fool. At least I said it, but I wasn't talking to you. I want to talk to the room clerk. Yes, I'll wait. Dum 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 dum. La 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 bum bum bum.
Many of us have had to deny ourselves certain of the good things of life lately because they've gone up so in price. But there's one thing we can all still enjoy, and that's ice-cold Coca-Cola. Coke was 5 cents in 1886, and it's still 5 cents today. Yet it's the self-same delicious drink it always has been. The drink you relish whenever you want, the pause that refreshes.
Well, Mr. King, Claudia and her April fooling should teach somebody a lesson. But I don't know who or what.
Well, the lesson's not important, Mrs. Brown. Just having fun.
And I wouldn't take that hotel too seriously. I think they'll be going to the country as planned.
Oh, but don't let them think they're the only ones going anyplace. I understand Julia and Hartley are leaving for London tomorrow.
So Claudia said. And she and David are seeing them off at the boat. That ought to be exciting.
I hope the boat doesn't leave with them on board. I'd certainly miss them.
So would I, Mr. King. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Brown. And as I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For ice-cold Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. Claudia has come to most of you now for the past 6 months. We'd welcome any suggestion or anything you may wish to say about our show. Write to Claudia, Post Office Box number 173, Church Street Station, New York 8, New York. Now let me repeat. Write to Claudia, Post Office Box number 173, Church Street Station, New York 8, New York.
And of course, the reason they're asking for letters is to prove that they're listeners to the show. That's a lot of the because ratings, even now, are not very accurate. I know I shouldn't say that. I'll get the station in trouble. But it's true. It's a very, very easy way to find out who was listening. And people would still write back in 1948, which is when this show aired. April 1st, 1948, Claudia, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to come to you each and every day we're here on your favorite station. If you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss a show. You can hear our shows through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You can also hear the show through my webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And please tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.